All right, welcome back to the home build. We got a new one now. We're gonna start our shop and guest house project. And so where we left off before was, you know, the house, and it got all completed. So now we're about 2.5 years later, and now we're ready for the shop. So we got the plans in the county right now. This is county, it's not city. So there's different codes with that. But the main restrictions with what we got here in the county is our property line. We need to just be off 10 feet, which we're gonna be well above that. We're gonna be about 14 feet, give or take, or a little bit more. Back when we did the home build, we put gravel out here because we were planning on, you know, doing something out here later and that sort of thing. But what we came up with is the shop is gonna be 28 feet wide, 40 feet long, and then an additional 14 feet beyond that is going to be a guest house. Here it's called a guest house, so it's not going to be a full kitchen. It'll have like a little wet bar, what that means is a smaller sink, no refrigerator, no stove, no dishwasher, things like that. So that's the plan for that. It's actually a second floor. It's like a loft with a bedroom above. So, and I'll show that on the plan. So here what we got gravel. So this pad is only about 35 feet long, so it's going to go another 5 feet with the gravel for the shop, and then another 14 feet with for that guest house. It's all going to be level. It's going to be a slab. I elected on this project to do a footing, stem wall, and then pouring the slab into it. So, and reasons for it, a pole barn style, I just didn't like how not quite airtight as far as on the bottom, and as far as like mice and stuff like that. That's just things I was thinking of, and as well as expansion and contraction of the soil. So footing goes well down deep enough. The inside here where the slab's gonna be is pretty stable once this, as far as humidity, once the slab goes on it. So those are things. Oh, and also the slab is going to tie into the stem wall with rebar, so it's not just like such a tall wall for shear, for racking purposes. So what George and what we're going to do is we're going to start the layout process, putting in 4 hubs in the far corners. And then from there, we're gonna build some batter boards. So you'll see the process with that for the layout. Something else that's kind of got me thinking. So we don't have to be specific on where we want it. You know, give or take, you know, 20 feet. Just because we're county and we have the space. So during the home build, I brought in this power. So that's what that 1.5 inch PVC pipe is conduit going over to the meter. And so what that is going to be, what I kind of designated, is going to be this east side of the wall here. So, and of course that's going to be inside the stem wall, so then therefore my panel is going to be on the inside. So what I'm deeming that to be kind of my control of the outside face on the east side, the west side, and then I'm just going to measure off of that. To keep things square, I'm going to be parallel off of my property line. So my property line is pretty much that fence. So just to give you a little idea, so when we're measuring, you're seeing us measure off for a hub, that's so we stay parallel to our property line. But as far as left to right and square this way, you'll see the process with that, some right triangle math. That's what carpenters do. We do math. So get to see the process. And yeah, so the first step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure from property line to this conduit plus about an 1.5 inches, because that should be centered on a 6-inch wall. The stem wall is going to be 8-inch, but the wall above where that conduit goes into is going to be 6 inches. So that's where we're going to be with that. Start there, and we're going to bring out some parallel lines. And once we have our parallel lines, and we'll deem, all right, this is one corner, and then start squaring off of that point. So, ready, George? All right, you look ready. So starting here, George, I want you to see the bottom 2x6 here. Walk over there, and I want you to butt into it. We're going to be down low, that bottom one, not the top one. So this measurement that we do, we got to be level. So. Hey, look at me. So we want to be straight. So maybe go that way, right where your butt is, right there. So let me pull it. I'm gonna kind of pull it tight a little.
So you see, this is the board. Do you want me to be on this side?
On this side, my side.
Okay.
So you're just butting into it. How are you butting into it?
What?
Not hooking into it. I want you to butt into it. There you go.
Hooking into it.
Huh?
I'm not hooking into it.
Okay, it looked like you did. So we're at 43 feet 1 inch. 43 feet 1 inch. So we're gonna go over to this corner here. Right about where that post is. Okay, there you go, right there. Now butt into it again. Can you go that way a little bit? Don't want to be. There you go, that'll work. 43 feet 1 inch. So that's about the outside of the wall. So then we'll do it again down here. Why don't you come over to me? So what I'm going to do is I want the outside face to be somewhere in here.
I'm assuming this was it.
Yep, that's exactly what I wanted, yeah. Probably make that one our outside corner. Our footing is going to hang over each side 8 inches. So 2 foot wide footing. So you're going to hold on there, and I'm going to pull out there 54 feet. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another line going this way, so I have an idea when we measure over, we're somewhat close. Okay, so some of these things, so you're going to hold me kind of right in that intersection, not right down by the grass, okay? There. I'm going to pull tight to kind of go through those weeds.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay, so here's watch what I do. 54 feet. Drop this down. Right like that.
I got paint.
That's alright, I ain't gonna hurt you. Okay, so now I kind of got a corner here, and what I'm after is, so down there I got a line. So when I was holding, if you couldn't see it, when I was holding the tape measure, hold on George, hold that, right at 54 feet, because the tape measure needs to be level, I just dropped this down, that's plumb. So then from where it hit the ground, that's when I made the mark. So let's go down there. Back out, please. Go down where I was. Alright, so we got a measurement from there to there. There's 54 feet. And then I'm going to go over to the shanty town over there. And we're going to pull off. Do you remember how much that measurement was?
41.
41 foot 1?
41 foot.
Maybe we should double check it to make sure. It might have been 43 foot 1.
Yeah, I think it's
43. Let's go double check. Make sure. So by double checking, it's 43 foot 1 inch up there. And when you do it, George, I want you to be kind of low if you can. Down low, just above the 2x6. There you go. But I got to add 5.5 inches, so I'm on this side in line with my fence, this side of the fence. Okay, so here I go. So 43, 1 plus 5.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 43, 6.5. So 43, 6.5. Where's my corner? Right like that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I want to mark parallel line on that side. Same thing, and it's 28 feet wide. So we'll go over. So by doing paint first, when we get the corners kind of somewhat close, if we decide to change and move something a few inches one way or the other, it's pretty easy to do. If we put the hub in, it just gets more work. Okay, try not to paint all of this, son. Okay, so you're holding there, I'm gonna mark 28 feet. No. 26, 7. So let's go double check how far we are from the how far away we are from the property line over there, and then making sure that we're good on that. So what I came to the conclusion of that I wanted this shop brought over this way a foot and actually that way a foot. So on this outside of the wall, this area here between the asphalt and the foundation, I'll have to fill in with concrete, which I was planning on doing that. And by moving it that way a foot, it gives me a little bit more room for forming, things like that. Things that I'm paying attention to. Hey George, I got that plum, don't push it and that kind of stuff, okay? 6 feet out is where my sidewalk posts are for my covered sidewalk to the back. And I'm just paying attention how far away from our septic. This is our septic right here, our ATT, our septic tank, and that sort of thing. But I feel that that's still native soil right here. Just beyond that though is backfill for the septic. So kind of trying to stay out of that area, even though this roof out here is very small, very minimal as far as bearing and things. Okay, so I changed out that concrete stake down there for a hub. So I'm gonna put in another hub right here. And the hub is simply something like this. It's 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Got a point on one end. I put tape on there just so that I can reuse it. Okay, so I'm aiming for kind of somewhat the center of that. So I'm gonna hold this level. Don't let me pull you. There we go. You holding it with 2 hands, buddy? So I gotta kind of pull it tight. See, there's a sag in the tape. I gotta pull that sag out. So somewhere, let's see, right about in like that height. So somewhere right about in here. I went ahead and added a foot. Where that dog food is. So I added the foot like I did up there. Now, hold it again, buddy. You holding it good? You doing good? So, I'm gonna adjust that a little bit. So level, there's 55 feet. He's burning a foot. I'm adding a foot. Right there is, I'm just making one line, not another line. Well, I guess I can make another line, it's right there. So these are gonna be my 2 control points. So, and as far as this way, supercritical, it doesn't need to be supercritical because, you know, I can bring it this way a long ways, I can bring it that way, you know, 10 feet if I wanted to, just because a little less constraints and in the county and in space. So, all right, now I got 2 points. I got one here, one hub there, one hub up there. Those are our control points. The next thing I can do is I'll do right triangle math, okay, to get the other point over there. So that's the next step. So using the Construction Master calculator, I got a distance this way, which is 28 feet. So I'll plug that in my calculator, 28 feet. And I'm gonna say that's the rise. So on a triangle, we got a rise, a run, and a diagonal. Okay, what I'm looking for is that diagonal. So it's the same as a squared plus b squared equals c squared, the Pythagorean theorem. But in this case, I just need to do rise, run, diagonal, and it does all the math for me. So I got a rise, okay, and then it's 54 feet. So remember I added the foot because he burnt a foot, but it's still 54 feet, and that's the run. And I press diagonal, gives me what that diagonal distance is. So 60 feet, 9 and 15/16. So what I'm gonna first start off doing is I'm gonna measure out here. I'm gonna draw a new line at 28 feet because across here is sort of somewhat level. And then to get that distance this way, so this is this way, I need the distance this way. That's what my triangle is gonna do. So 60 feet, 9, 15. So that's gonna be where that mark on the hub there is one direction pulling 54 feet, and the other I just lined up with my spray paint mark, which is going to be close enough, parallel with the property. Okay, so let's go on this other way. Here, hold this in. So you're going to burn a foot again. I need those in my bags. Okay, and tape, sledge. Here. That, so you'll be doing 1 foot, and you burning a foot, so I'm gonna mark 29. Okay, so now what I need, so this line right here is representing my 60 or 28 feet, and then now this one's, that right triangle math was 60 foot, 9 and 15/16, so basically 60 foot 10. He's burning a foot, so I'm gonna go 61 foot 10. Foot 10, right about there. So now I can put this hub in on my paint line right here. All right, we're gonna do it again, buddy, okay? Trying to be a little more accurate this time. So now we're at 61 foot. I'm gonna aim for 9 and 15/16. Which is about there. Okay, buddy, you're gonna go back over here. I'm gonna mark that 28 feet again, or burn a foot for 29 feet. It's real critical and important that you make sure your tape measure is level. So we got other machines that you could use, like a theodolite or a total station, things like that, but using just simple tools like this, you can get the same job done, except for you need to be level. So looking down on it, what we got so far. So I got this line right here, which I guess I can brighten it up a little for you. That's my one arc right there. Okay, you kind of holding it, buddy? So this isn't going to be perfectly level, but actually these are going to be a little bit higher than where I am over here, plus the grass. I'm using my level, my torpedo level. And tell me when you're good, because I'm holding it. You got to pay attention. Don't pay attention to the dog. Right there. Man, I'm like right on the edge. Right on the edge. That'll work for what we're doing. All right, you want to come on over, George? So what we measured coming this way, that triangle, George?
Yes.
Coming this way, this was that 60 foot 9 and 15 sixteenths. So I burn a foot, so 61, 9 and 15 sixteenths. I made a line right here. And when we measured over this way, this is where it's at, right here. I mean, ideally it'd be the hub was a little further that way, but it's still on the hub. So as long as when I tell you to measure, and you're measuring off at that point right there.
And
okay?
I would be doing this.
No. So the only time I'll be measuring will be pointing this way, or we'll go that way.
Over there,
because the building's square, you're going to be, and over there when you're doing diagonal, absolutely, you are doing it diagonally like this.
Okay.
Yep, good. Smart. Okay. All right, now we got that point, and we got one more point to do, and then after that we need to just double check things again. Make sure it's square, because as long as everything's good and square here, then we're going to start building off of it. If this isn't square, then everything else isn't square. So what we got here is 8 foot off of that hub, or 8 foot off the stem wall. I put in 2 concrete metal stakes, and the ground here is a little too hard to drive in these wood stakes, so I just screwed those to it. And then I want to put a mark on here for a grade for where this batter board is going to go. So what I did is I took my laser, I got it set up, and my existing asphalt right here, right about where the door is, the high side of the door, that is, I'm going to go 2 inches above that point. That's my kind of control for my elevation. So right where that white dot is, 2 inches up, right on this corner here, it's still below the 2 inches. It slopes, the asphalt slopes about 1 inch, so the concrete that I pour on this side of the wall, it'll just have a little bit more of a slope here than it will be here. And ideally is about 1/3 of the garage, I want it to slope 1 inch towards the garage door, for one, so water doesn't go in. But I want it to still be a little bit higher, the concrete where the door is, than this point right here, so it'll slope outward. and it'll just slope a little bit more right on this side here. It's a 12-foot wide garage door. So the other thing is that I want my concrete out here to be 5 inches thick, and then on that end where that additional 14 feet for the guest house, I'm gonna have 2 inches of rigid insulation foam and a 4-inch slab, so it's gonna need to be down 6 inches. So right now, since I got my grade now, I zeroed it out on that point, went down to go up, so went down 2 inches, and then I'm gonna put marks right on my batter boards here. So you want to help me do this, buddy?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, Patrick, there you go. So you can see this side. You can raise this up, down, so it's right there.
So that's like
And
one
on the
corner. So
bottom
that
of this right here.
my dad has something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Hold that one. I want to measure it. It's 3.5 inches, so my board can stay here. Which I have it. Good. Okay, put it right here on this side. So mark it right. Gotta make sure you're not in the way of your elbow, this arm. You either have below it or above it. Okay, so what do you need to do? Have this hand, spread your hands out, but not one above it. You can have this hand down here, or switch your hands, one or the other. Right there?
Nope.
That. One more right here. All right, so what we did, that string line was through here, which is right there. My footing, it'll be 8 inches that side, got 2 foot, so should have plenty of room there. And we're about 8 feet off. Okay, so these here aren't going to be quite tall enough, so I got to add on to them. So I'm going to get a 2x4 and extend them up because my slab height. Check this out. Oh boy, way up here. Gee whiz, that's a ways.
How would you know it's level?
Huh?
How would you know it's level?
Because once I started hearing it, it's somewhere up in here. Or, well, I mean, it's down here, but the eye's way up there. Okay, let's get a 2x4 and add on to it. All right, so now we're going to transfer those hub marks with the string line up onto our batter board here. So grab that string line, George. The whole thing. Grab the wheel too. Up and over. So, uh-oh. Uh-oh. There it goes. I got it, buddy. All right, so come over here on this side, George. I want you to hold this.
Yes.
Okay, and it'll be somewhere like in here. Okay, you holding it? All right, let me get a straight edge and a level. So I'm gonna go out here to this here. Next board is plumb this up, Simon. What you're going to do is you're going to move that to the left or to the right so we get kind of lined up here, okay? So, yeah. Move it to your left a little. Left a little more. Go back. Don't keep moving. That's good right there. Let me mark it. Okay. So then, I'll put a nail there. Holds this side. Okay. Okay, so come on this side, boys. So same thing. See your level. Level. You can move that left to right. I'll tell you. So you're gonna move it to your right about an inch. That. Go slow and let go. Let me pause it. So go that way a little bit of a 1/4 inch. Quarter's tiny, okay? A quarter's only about that big. I'm just shaking. Alright, hey, go that way and just a tiny bit. Okay, go back just a little. Roll it back to you that way a little bit. Go back. Alright, now come back a little. Right there. I think you're getting real.
I would never have thought this one and that one would be level.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's gonna be way out of town over there.
Wait, what do you mean level like straight? Yeah, level like this. No. Not like that. It's like this a little bit.
Oh,
I feel like it's
ground's moving.
It looks like it. It looks like it goes like. Because at our pool, have you seen like the little towel rack on the fence? Yeah. That is level. Yeah, that's actually level. There's no other ground.
And this one, if I wanted to leave it there,
Me too.
I could wrap it around like this.
And if you
Pull
look at it from like right here, like this, it looks like that end is up. Yeah. And that's the ground.
You know, a good double check, George,
Yeah.
just because you guys are wondering. Put up a level up against this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing if it's level. Which it shows dead and level right there.
What?
Perfectly level. Let me show you again.
How?
Right there. See how the bubble's in between lines? Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I think.
It's got to be in between lines.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not level. Yeah, it's like
pretty wild.
so weird. Wait. What if I do this? What's it in here?
The ground's going down, buddy. So this corner, since it's a high side in the terrain, I went only 4 foot back for this batter board, and of course I had to lay it flat. But even though it's laying flat, that is finished floor, so it's 2 inches above that dot over there, and it's only 4 feet, so it's not in line with that other one over there. So what I ended up doing, because I wanted to check between this and there, I extrapolated this line through to a stake that I put in the ground, and this one edge of that stake, it's 8 feet off and in line with my hub. And these are our 2 control points right here. So then what I did is I measured from here, that edge of that stake across, trying to get 28 feet. And what it actually was is it was a little bit short of 28 feet. So I ended up bumping that line out that way 1/4 inch. That one over there, I ended up having to bring it back, well, about 1/4 inch. All right, that just about wraps up for one day, and I feel like I've only been working about half a day. But what I did is I finished doing the batter boards, and they're all level and they're all at finished floor. So something else to keep in mind, so like here, this one here, I came off an offset of 13 feet. Well, down there I went off 13 feet, and if they're more or less anyhow, as long as they're somewhat close in line. This one here, I plumbed up, got this string set, so as long as they're somewhat in line and elevation, I just measured from here to that one, 54 feet, boom. I didn't have to plumb up or anything like that. Now, I still plumbed up to see how close it was, and it was within 1/4. So I was happy with that. But just measuring across something level, nice tight tape measure is gonna be a lot more accurate than trying to guess whether or not your tape measure is plumb or level and then plumbing down to a hub. So I feel more comfortable with this measurement here. That one was my control line over there. This one's gonna be close enough. So then I just, like I said, I had an offset, measure over to that one, check it, and it was real close, but I had to adjust it. That one there, I had to adjust this one because I measured across. Those two are the same offset, 8 feet. So the only thing I had left that I did was I came over 8 inches and put down a string line, and I painted a dotted line. That's one side of my footing. 2 foot over is the other side of the footing. So that'll get dug out, ready to go. Same thing I did here. I measured this way 8 inches and back 2 feet. Spray painted my my footing right there and whatnot. So all around it is the footing sprayed out. So you can see here I got one spread out there, and then I got to lay out those other spreads. But that's all that's left. I got this footing done, and then on this back end I got it sprayed out down here as well. So now all this is grass right here. So when I go to dig this, I'm gonna dig my footing, and then I gotta actually scratch out all of this, probably the top 6 inches or a little bit more, bring that all out of here so that I can then bring in a bunch of gravel. So yeah, so the next step, so we got our control out here, our batter boards, that is. Still got a few spreads I got to lay out right here, but for the most part the layout portion's done and I'm ready to dig. For digging, the next thing that I will have to lay out is, you know, figuring out the bottom of my footing and also figuring out where my steps are. So we'll go through that process on the next video. So hopefully it wasn't too long for you, but it's kind of a learning experience for you. That's what this is for. This isn't made for entertainment, but it's just kind of learning. So, you know, my name's Corey Rogers. I've been doing this for 26 years. So I've been a carpenter for 26 years and I love it. So this is what I do, love it, I teach it. And of course, you know, I preach what I teach by building. So pretty fun. Hopefully you get to do something fun like this. So look forward to seeing you on the next video for the next section. So like always, like I end with is, I want you to be safe out there. So do things right and be safe. Watch out for equipment. Watch your fingers. Use the proper PPE. Like, you know, I wore safety glasses, earplugs, and all that sort of thing. So be safe out there.